to another episode of Skinterviews. I am one of your two hosts. My name is George Scandalis, aka the Skin Guy, and this stud muffin over here.
This is Nathan Strom. How are we, everyone?
Why are you laughing that I'm calling you a stud muffin? You're looking good these days.
It just embarrasses me, George.
Oh, well, listen, don't be embarrassed. Everybody looks good to me these days. Any human I see, other than my family directly in my closed-up house. I'm like a bird in a cage. Everyone's like, oh my God, human. I love humans. Where are you?
I love it. You know what, George? We're going to my hometown, Ottawa, today, and I'm very excited about that.
You know what? I'm excited too because, well, I'm going to let you do the intro, but before you say anything else, what a clinic. That's all I got to say. I love it from start to finish, from branding, the team. I got to meet them last time I was in Ottawa. So you take it away, do your intro, and I'll ask all my questions when my turn comes up.
Well, I really have a soft spot for this individual, and it's probably because I have a little bit of a crush on her husband. I have to admit.
Oh, so makes you awkward with stud muffin, but you're crushing on someone else's husband?
I know. He's an absolute legend, and she is an absolute legend as well. And they're just the kind of people that you want to do well, no matter what. They're just amazing people. They're so family orientated, and they've created this beautiful homely clinic in Ottawa. And I can't wait till we get out of isolation to see what they can really do with this thing, because they just started before isolation, really. And it's beautiful. It's amazing. You've seen it. They have beautiful staff, amazing staff, and I can't wait to see them hit their full potential. So should we bring her out?
Well, I definitely think we should. Let's not keep everyone waiting.
Well, without further ado, I'd like to introduce everyone, Dr. Jennifer MacIsaac.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Instead of a hug today.
Oh, I know. I'm a hugger.
I know.
Such a hugger.
Hopefully soon.
How's it going?
I'm good. Good. How are you?
Oh, we're living the isolation dream, as they call it.
Yes. Aren't we all?
Are you still in clinic working?
I am. Yes. So I'm in clinic because we are doing mostly telephone and virtual consults right now, but doing that at home, as you may know, with children is not easy. So I do it from the clinic because nobody would hear me otherwise.
Right. Is your practice 100% aesthetics or cosmetics based, or do you have a mix of both, privatized and health? Yeah,
we do a mix of both. So both medical and aesthetic medicine.
So it's been still full operation for the most part?
No, we're closed, but we're doing, virtual care.
Yeah.
We have had the odd circumstance where medically a patient has lesions that absolutely need assessment, that we deem to need assessment virtually. We have had the odd person come in where necessary, but it's been pretty few and far between.
Wow. Yeah. Well, I'm glad you guys are all healthy and safe, because that's the most important.
Mm-hmm.
Should we get right into this?
Sure.
Are you ready?
Good. Ready.
All right. So let's go right back to day zero, as I say. And you come into this world. What is the full name you were given at birth? And is there any meaning to it? Were you named after someone?
So my full name is Jennifer Lynn MacIsaac. And my mom says that she just loved the name Jennifer. Yep. She tried to throw in her name. So her name is Paula. And everyone told her that Jennifer Paula did not fit. So she changed it to Lynn. And my sister got the middle name Paula. So I ended up with Jennifer Lynn.
And so it's you and your sister, two siblings?
Yeah, I have two sisters. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And no one else got the Paula?
So the middle one got the Paula because there wasn't exactly supposed to be a third one. So my little sister came 10 years after me. So for a while, we sort of jokingly called her the accident, but obviously no accident. And so, that's how my middle sister ended up with my mom's middle name.
Amazing. And were you born in Ottawa?
I was born in Sudbury.
Oh, in Sudbury. Okay.
Yeah.
And so
Sudbury, yes. The Big Nickel. You must have heard of it.
Sorry?
The Big Nickel.
I go to Sudbury often. I like Sudbury. I
Oh,
have
fantastic.
clients up there, good friends up there. I have great accounts up there too, actually.
Good.
Do you know Dr. Tiffany Parsons? She's a dermatologist.
I don't know her well, but I do know her. Yes.
Yeah, so she just opened a massive clinic up there. She's absolutely lovely. Her family's lovely. And who else do I see up there? I see Dr. Scott Barr in his clinic up there. So it's booming. It's a great city for our business, and they're doing very well out there.
That's great. I don't meet a lot of people who visit Sudbury frequently, so that's fantastic.
There you go. Okay. And so you were born in Sudbury. When did you end up in Ottawa?
So I ended up in Ottawa for residency. So I did my residency here, and then I loved it, so I decided to stay. And in between, I went to Toronto for 4 years for medical school. And that was fantastic, but I knew that coming from Sudbury, Toronto was a huge jump for me. Right. So Ottawa was sort of a happy medium. The
perfect fit. Yeah. And elementary school, was it Sudbury as well?
Yes. So I was in Sudbury until I went to medical school in Toronto. So yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Cool. So when did you and Richard meet then?
So we actually met in Ottawa.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're both from Sudbury. I know that's why you're probably asking. We didn't meet in Sudbury. We were sort of set up. Basically, my sister's husband was named Richard. Yeah. Actually kind of looks like Richard. And I had asked her to set me up with a guy like her husband, because she's younger than me and was married before me. And so she did just that. She went around her office and asked if anybody knew of a guy for her sister who had just moved to Ottawa. And sure enough, I meet Richard.
Wow.
That's how we met.
That's like the old-fashioned dating site, right? It is a way better way of doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was great.
It was very successful for you guys.
It was very successful. I was pleasantly surprised, yes.
They need to remind you that the interview is about Jennifer, not her husband. Okay? Stay focused, all right? We got to crush on Jennifer, and then we can crush on the husband. Okay.
So tell us, growing up, was being a doctor always in the plans?
No, actually, it wasn't. I didn't have any exposure to medicine growing up because there wasn't anyone in my family who was in medicine. So growing up, I wanted to be a teacher, and that kind of stuck with me until university. And then when I was in third year at Laurentian is when I started to do some work at the Cancer Centre in Sudbury, and that's where I was exposed to medicine. And from there was no turning back. It was medicine for me.
Okay. So was school easy for you? Were you like a straight A student all the time, or did you have to work hard to earn your grades? How did it work at school for you?
School, I definitely got good grades. They were important to me. I would say it was, I guess, fairly, it came naturally, a lot of it. I enjoyed school, so it wasn't a ton of hard work. It was just work that I liked to do. And then medical school was definitely where I had to take it up a notch, for sure.
Okay, cool. And did you have any heroes growing up, or anyone that you specifically looked up to that kind of maybe guided you in a certain way?
I think growing up, my hero would have to be my mom. She was just an amazing role model, and sometimes it takes, some event to see that. And I think it really hit me when she was in the hospital for a couple of weeks when I was young, and we were completely lost, didn't know what to do with ourselves. And a friend of my dad's had to come over and show us how to cook and do laundry and clean up after ourselves. And, I had always known my mom did a lot for us, but really, she was the glue who held us together, and she worked really hard. I spent so many nights with her at her office. So it's something that I remember even very young, putting stamps on envelopes and things like that, something very straightforward. But she was definitely my hero growing up, for sure.
Cool. I love that. And was there anything like, is there any sort of stories or things that you used to do as a young kid growing up, or anything funny that you could share with us today as a kid?
Something that came to mind recently when my kids were sort of in the bathroom playing around with stuff was that I really hadn't sort of seen my parents either in their room or in the washroom, like they were just private people. And so it brought me back to when at one point my mom took my clothes and asked me, I've been doing the laundry lately and you have so much deodorant marks on your clothes, why is that? And I told her it's because I put my deodorant on like this. And she said, well, the deodorant goes on your skin, not on your clothes. So that was pretty embarrassing, but.
How old were you when that happened?
Probably around 7, 8 years old. Yeah, I just
love that.
wanted to wear deodorant, and I didn't know it went on your skin.
I appreciate people that wear deodorant. I really put it on if you're listening at home, put it on however you want. Yeah. I'm not going to judge, as long as it don't stink. Tell me about your first love.
My first love, although I would be nice to say it's my husband, Richard. He's been the ultimate and most important love, but I did have a high school sweetheart who, was very important to me at the time. And, and he liked me for me, braces and all. So we definitely had a good relationship. And I would have to say he was my first love.
Where's he now? Is he still in Sudbury?
As far as I know, he's still in Sudbury and I believe has a family of his own. Yeah.
And growing up with braces, tell me about your first kiss. What was it like? Was it awkward?
Well, my first kiss was a little younger than the braces age.
Oh.
But I did have braces when I was a little older. So I did not have braces when I had my first kiss. My first kiss would have been on a school bus, I think in grade 5, with one of the neighborhood boys who was pretty handsome.
This is amazing. This is what happens on school buses, kids.
Yeah.
First celebrity crush. Did you have any posters up in your room when you were growing up?
I had a crush and still have a crush on Bon Jovi.
Yes.
Whether he has long hair, short hair, white hair, he's a hunk and very talented. So, yeah, definitely a celebrity crush.
Have you ever met him?
I've never met him. I've been to his concerts, but I have never met him. That would be amazing. I hope he does another concert, and I'll attempt to do that if it's possible.
Maybe
I wish I had the power to say, we're going to put him on the show right
now. Yeah. We could get him live on Skinterviews for you for your next interview.
Yeah, I hope he's going to do another tour. He's got, I think, an album coming out later this year, so you never know.
Do you sing Bon Jovi in the shower?
In the shower, showers are pretty short, so I don't necessarily sing too many songs in the shower because for me it's in and out. Otherwise, someone's interrupting. So Bon Jovi, I think the song I like the most is Bad Medicine, just, kind of the natural song. But
how does that one go?
Yeah, how does it go?
You need to give me a few drinks before. Yeah. I was not gifted with a voice, that's for sure.
We've had a few good singers on the show.
Yeah.
Everything from Head and Shoulders, Knees and Toes.
Oh, nice.
Boys to Men. We've had a few different ones. We usually ask what's the last song somebody sang in the shower. We get them to sing a couple of lines. We'll leave you off the hook today because you're in Nathan's hometown. So we're going to be
The last one I sang, actually, it's one that my kids, it's not really a song, but my kids are into TikTok and watching dancing and so on. And what's playing in my head constantly when I'm in the shower for some reason, and even when I'm at work, is it goes, I think, I'm bored in the house, I'm in the house bored. I'm bored in the house, I'm in the house bored. I don't know why.
You got one.
The
Yeah.
TikTok that's stuck in my head is the one I just made the switch to. You know where everybody switches outfits?
Yeah.
It's like stuck in my head all the time. I'm walking around, I'm doing
Yeah.
dishes, I'm getting something done. I'm like, I just made the switch.
Yeah. I know, they're so catchy. They're so catchy.
Maybe
That's-
we need to do a Skinterviews TikTok, George.
You think we should?
Maybe.
Well, Nathan, I love that you think we have all the time in the world.
Yeah. 30-second clips might work.
Yeah.
Jennifer, tell me the last lie you told your kids.
That mommy's going to bed now, so you have to go to bed. I think I tell that lie pretty regularly because they don't understand why adults need adult time.
Yeah.
We stopped having that conversation and went to mommy's going to bed.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Any hidden talents we should know about you?
Can do magic.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
look at you.
That is a first for
Like it?
Skinterviews. We've never had a magic trick on Skinterviews.
No.
It's so fun.
I've learned to do a magic trick with my hand. Ready? Watch this. Ready, Nathan?
Yeah.
That was good. I liked it.
That was
Very
pretty good. That was pretty
Yeah.
fun.
I like that. So let's talk about cooking.
Oh, okay.
Who cooks at home? Is it you or Richard? Who does most of the cooking?
It would definitely be Richard.
Oh,
Okay.
And Uber Eats and get the dishes.
Is he a good chef?
He's really good when we actually cook and he cooks.
Yep.
It's delicious for sure. It's just finding time to do it.
And what would be his signature dish?
Um,
Your favorite one of his?
yeah, I think he really makes good prime rib.
mm.
Yeah, it's quite good. Quite
I'm
good.
inviting myself over for dinner after.
Yeah,
this. For prime rib.
yeah, it's pretty delicious. You're
It's-
invited.
I love it. So that brings me to my next question.
Post-COVID, not breaking any rules.
Yeah, exactly. After isolation, we can do that.
Yeah.
So brings me to my next question. If you were to invite 3 people over for dinner, dead or alive, who would they be? And are you and Richard cooking something up, or are you ordering takeout? And what would that be for your guests?
So I think we would go with having it catered. And I'm a fan of having a bunch of small sort of appetizer type meals. And then maybe something like a steak at the end. In terms of who I would invite, if I had to right now, thinking about the fact that we're in COVID, it would just be my family, to be honest, because I haven't seen them in forever. It feels like forever. But if it was like a once in a lifetime dinner, I guess I'd want to add a chair because I'd want to invite Richard because he's a fun guy and he deserves a night off. So I would add a 5th chair, and then I would love to sit down with Ellen. I think she is so witty and would be so fun and entertaining and have a lot of life experience to talk about. And then another person I think I would absolutely love to meet would be Julia Roberts. So she's an actress I think has a lot of talent. And in terms of someone in, let's say, our field who I would love to spend a dinner with, whether it's one-on-one or in a group, and that would be Rox Anderson. So he may not be sort of known to everyone, but he's an icon in sort of the laser medicine world. And so he's someone I would love to sit down and have a long conversation with over a good meal.
What about Bon Jovi?
Yeah.
Hands down, I'd need to stretch out the table because there's so many other people I would love to invite.
He could be the
Too
entertainment.
much. Yeah.
He could be the entertainment. Has Julia Roberts ever done a bad movie? She's pretty impressive, isn't she?
Yeah, I can't think of a bad movie that she's done, but yeah.
It's kind of like she's kind of like Russell Crowe. Like I don't necessarily like Russell Crowe, but I love all his movies. Like he's very
They're
rarely in a
talented.
bad movie.
Very talented for sure.
Yeah, cool. So what does Jen do in her spare time to wind down? Because you're such a busy person. You have an army of kids at home.
I do.
You're a business owner. You have two clinics. You have your cosmetic side and then you have your medical derm side. I'm trying to find out if you even have enough time in the day to even sleep. So what do you do to relax and chill out?
Yeah.
If you get a chance.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned, spare time, because it depends what you call spare time.
Yep.
That doesn't happen often with 4 children, but we definitely make time to put, family first. So there are times where sleep and personal hygiene, like cutting your nails, is the spare time. And then there are times where, it's playing outside with the kids. Sort of pre-COVID in the fall, we had started a martial arts class together as a family, which was amazing.
Awesome.
We try to get outside a lot. During COVID, we've been playing a lot more games, so that's been fun. And then I think we also sort of make spare time. So we make it happen. So Richard and I work really hard to plan spare time where we, have routines, and we take the kids somewhere in the winter and then again in the spring, and then we, go camping in the summer. And so if we don't make that time, it can go by so fast and not happen. So yeah. So I think it's important both, for us, and then being at the clinic, we actually emphasize that to our staff as well. So we do circuit training, for example, with our staff on a weekly basis. So we exercise together, stay healthy together. We meet outside of the clinic. During COVID, we'd have some Zoom meetings, which has kept us all in touch. And so, I think we need to practice what we preach. And so we are all trying to make sure that we have a work-life balance.
Yeah. And for the viewers that don't know Dr. MacIsaac that well, when you walk into her clinic, it's very much like walking into a family house in regards to the vibe and the feel. Like they treat their staff and their patients just like they treat their children and their extended family. George has had the experience as well. It's such a warm feeling, and I love that about yourself and Richard, like the culture that you've created in this clinic in such a short time. Because have you even been open 12 months now?
We've been open about 9 months.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's amazing to see how you can develop a culture like that so quickly, because it's a hard thing to do to develop culture, and you need to lead by example. So congratulations to the two of you for that.
Thank you. Thanks, Nathan.
Cool. So tell us about what you do when you first wake up in the morning.
The very first thing I do, so I don't set an alarm clock because my kids are my alarm clock. There is no need for an alarm clock. I do have 4 children, so I don't know if, I think you guys know that, but so 8, 4, almost 3, and 16 months.
Yeah.
So they're my alarm clock. So I usually check the time. It's the first thing I do because I want to know who is up, what time is it, why are they awake, and it sets the standard for the day. Because if it's in the 5s, the day will probably not be the best day. If it's in the 6s, we might be having a pretty good day. 7s, we're gonna aim for that. So definitely the first thing I do is look at the time.
Cool. And let's talk about work now a little bit. So what's one thing in your profession that you do on a daily basis, or one thing that you wished people knew more about?
I think what would be nice if people knew would be, I guess, the breadth of things that we do. So I think a lot of times people might think that dermatology has a fairly narrow scope. They think of things maybe like treating acne or skin cancer or eczema. But there's, so much more to it than that. And we treat all sorts of conditions, many of which start on the skin and represent internal sort of disease or conditions, so autoimmune diseases, blistering diseases, all sorts of drug reactions, for example, especially in hospital. All of us do cover sort of call at the hospital. We make sure that from a medical perspective, everything, patient care is always comes first. And so I think people don't realize maybe all of the things that we do, both in the medical and the sort of cosmetic or aesthetic world in our profession.
And along those lines, just for some viewers that are maybe looking to get into this industry, into dermatology or cosmetic derm, they may be at med school right now, they're thinking about going into med school. Can you give them some advice through maybe an obstacle that you've faced, or a little tip that maybe was given to you in your career that has led you to be the successful dermatologist you are today?
I think maybe what has led me to where I am and to, I think, being so happy is to follow just that. So to do something that you love, because if you're doing what you love and you're following, that path, whatever that may be, even if there's roadblocks in your way, because there will be, that if you follow what you're meant to do, your job will not feel like a job. It will just be one of the best parts of your life, So I think that's the biggest piece of advice, is just follow what makes you happy. Yeah.
Amazing. Tell me something that upsets you about our industry, that really pisses you off and gets you really out of yourself, because you seem so contained. I want to know what really gets your blood boiling about us. What can we change?
Yeah, it definitely takes a lot to make me angry. I don't get angry very easily. I think having 4 kids has taken me down a level in terms of having to have so much patience. So I don't get angry a lot. I guess one thing that, I guess I hear sometimes is, are you happy doing aesthetic medicine? Because, aesthetic medicine is maybe thought of as done for financial reasons, or done because of, vanity and things like that. And I think that in many circumstances, it's quite the opposite. Yeah. So a whole lot of what we consider, or what, sort of the ministry will say considers to be aesthetic medicine, really has major impacts on people's lives, from, scars as a really sort of obvious example. But we do treat tons and tons of scars, whether it's from acne or, car accident or cancer and surgery that people have had that they want to forget. And we can minimize or even, erase those scars, so that they're not looking at these things every single day and remembering what it is that they're trying to forget. So I think, we know, and we have so much evidence on psychosocial impact of, let's say, psoriasis. We have so much evidence to show the impact is huge of having psoriasis, as well as the medical impact, of course. But I think, that we should then take that knowledge and expand it to say that there are so many things that are considered aesthetic that have the same impact on people's lives. And so, am I happy with what I'm doing? Absolutely.
Amazing. More of a self-aware question, but when self-awareness, sorry. 10 years from now, or 15 years from now, or maybe even 20 years from now, what do you think would be the advice you would give to yourself from then now? What is the one thing you think you would change about what's going on?
Yeah, I think I would tell myself to live more in the moment. So to not miss out on opportunities that will create memories that, will last a lifetime, because those opportunities will come and go, and you don't always have a chance to get them back. So there will always be, more sort of work and more things to do, and more, things that have to be done. But if you don't stop to do the things that you want to do and that you love, life will pass you by very quickly.
Right.
Just quickly, let's touch on COVID a little bit, because we're in it. We're stuck in the middle of it right now. And we're living it every day. tell us a little bit about what the Ottawa Derm Centre is doing to pivot around this COVID experience and how you're sort of setting the clinic up for maybe the future 6 to 8 months where they're starting to talk about maybe a second phase of isolation and what you guys are doing to plan against that.
Yeah. So since the first week of the shutdown, we essentially quickly converted our clinic to telephone and virtual visits and consultations. So we were never closed. So we let our patients know that we are here, that we're available to continue to care for them, obviously in a different way. It has been challenging with a very visual specialty to provide care in a virtual platform, but we've been doing it. And so I think we have reminded people a few times that we're here and we're open if they do have concerns or questions. And I think another key is that we're ready for anything. So we're just setting ourselves up to be ready for, if the doors are allowed to be open on, Monday, they're going to be open on Monday. And we have all the measures necessary that we feel would protect people coming in the door. And I think that's of utmost importance. I mean, you're coming here for your health, and the last thing, anyone would want to do is put someone's health at risk. So we have all those measures ready to go. And I think being prepared for anything, even another closure, is really what we're doing to keep ourselves able to serve our patients.
Cool. And then I'd love to know what's one thing personally you're looking forward to in regards to getting out of the isolation situation. What's that one thing that you can't wait to do that you're missing out on at the moment?
Probably go out for dinner. As simple as that sounds, I can't wait to go for dinner with yes.
I was saying yesterday, I'm dying for sushi. I really want to go to like a sushi night.
Oh, anything. I'll take a night out anywhere.
It's a big open-ended question, but what do you think is holding the world back today?
COVID.
That's a good answer.
Yeah, I think that's what's holding us back.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be holding us back for a while.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, listen, based on what you answered earlier, it's a good time to be able to learn ways to adapt to live in the now. And a lot of we've done a few of these now, and the recurring themes that we have throughout them are derms that really want to pass the message across that our industry is not about vanity. That is a marketing ploy, but there's a whole health aspect and a wellness aspect and a mental health aspect associated to what we do. And the other recurring theme that we have across all our guests is that we are living through something that's going to be written in history books, but we're also granted with the opportunity of more time with our families and our loved ones, and really reassessing how we're going to be living coming out of this, which is something beautiful I think we're all experiencing on a global scale. So it's nice to know that whether you're a derm or a cashier or a nurse or a truck driver or whatever that may be, that we're all reassessing our lives together in different ways, and that we're learning how to adapt to appreciate more with a lot less. So it's kind of beautiful. Are you ready for our quick fire questions? We're almost at the end of our interview. So this is where we lighten things up. I'm going to ask you some quick questions. You're going to answer this or that with the first thing that pops into mind. Try not to put too much thought into it.
Okay.
When you're ready.
Ready.
Go. Red or blue?
Blue.
Black or white?
White.
Flying or being invisible is a superpower?
Being invisible.
Being invisible or reading minds?
Reading minds.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Mom or dad?
Oh, that's mean. Mom.
Favorite drink?
Mojito.
Champagne or wine?
Champagne.
Strawberries or blueberries?
Strawberries.
Bananas or oranges?
Bananas.
Stuck in isolation for 12 more weeks. You can only take one skincare product. What do you take?
I would take Grenzine.
Perfect. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Nathan or me?
Both of you.
This is why we say don't put too much thought into it.
There you go.
You wanted to say me, but then you thought, listen, you don't have to worry about me stealing your husband. So I would have gone with me, you know? I might steal Bon Jovi, though. Jennifer, we got 2 more questions from Nathan before we close up today. I want to say you've been lovely to have you on, and the more I get to know you, the more I want to be in Ottawa and get to know you even more than this. And I like how we get to see an insight into a little bit more about you. And being as busy as you are, it's great to get to know the person you are, because sometimes that gets overlooked with how much you've got going on. So I love that you agreed to do this here today. So
thank you for having me.
Thank you.
So 2 more questions, a little bit of fun. The first one is, we would love to know your skincare routine at the moment.
Okay. Well, I have a little bit more time than usual, so I've been more diligently using my hyperpigmentation kit. So I have melasma, which hopefully you cannot see. So I use in that kit is the medicated wash, and then I use the Grenzine eye, because who doesn't want nice
Love that
skin around their eyes. And then I use the Radiant Serum Skin Brightening Cream, the exfoliant Fort if it's morning, and then retinol if it's nighttime, and then always, of course, finish off the morning with sunscreen. And if I do have to do a 30-second routine where it's sort of an average day, then I would sort of switch that up and go with, a wash, serum, ultimage, and sunscreen. And then I've been finishing off during COVID with Richard applying the Grenzine body. So there you go.
Wow.
Yes.
Go COVID.
You're a product junkie now.
I know.
I love that.
They've been working well. So I'm very excited about the no melasma showing. It's fantastic.
I love that. I love that. Now, we know you're well connected in this industry. So who would you like us to see? Who would you like us to interview next on the show? And could you maybe help us get that person on the show as well?
Yeah. I can think of a few people actually who would be
the more the merrier.
Yeah, who would be fun. I mean, like my colleague, Dr. Bonaparte, he would be a really fun guy to, I think, to interview, and I'd like to get to know a little bit more about his life. And then a couple of people that were mentors of mine. I did training with them, Dr. Zaki Taher, so out in Edmonton, and then Dr. Ronnie Monk in Montreal. So awesome. Both fantastic people.
Awesome. Okay. We'll reach out to you after this interview, and maybe you can copy us in on a few emails.
Okay.
But just on behalf of the Skinterviews, George and I, Jen, it's been awesome to catch up with you. I'm certainly missing you because we normally see each other on a regular basis, and this has sort of been cut off over this isolation. Mm-hmm. But we definitely need to catch up for a drink, and maybe we'll get Richard to put the barbecue on.
I know. We'll do that.
That would be awesome. But you guys take care and stay safe. And thank you so much for being on our show. And I'm just going to pass it on to George, and George is going to close out for us.
If any of our guests want to get in contact with Dr. MacIsaac, please head over to the Instagram page at Ottawa Derm Centre. And of course, you can always go to their website, ottawadermcentre.com. I want to thank you again for watching Skinterviews. Following us, liking, sharing really means a lot to us, and we're really grateful for it. You can follow myself at @the_skin_guy on Instagram, or Nathan at Nathan Strom. You can also find us on our Skinterviews page, which is at skin.terviews. On Facebook, we are facebook.com/skin.terviews, and we are on LinkedIn and YouTube as well as Skinterviews by Nathan and George. We thank you for watching. Hope you're staying safe and healthy, and keep your skin looking great. We'll see you soon.